Hi everyone, or should I say 大家好 or marhaba jameen. If you do a simple search on Google about the most difficult languages in the world, and the result will be Mandarin Chinese. Right after that, it will be Arabic, which are considered to be two of the most difficult languages in the world. FSI puts this language in category 5 languages, which takes around 88 weeks, 2,200 class hours to master it. But is that really the case? As someone who has been learning the Arabic languages for years, I can speak both in Fusha, the MSA, Modern Standard Arabic, and the Syrian dialect. Additionally, I'm a native Chinese speaker with significant experience in teaching Mandarin to foreigners. I will go into detail today about the most difficult aspect of each language. I will do a thorough comparison based on the most important 6 skills of every language. At the end of the video, I will tell you my own personal and honest opinion about which language you should learn, and I will tell you which language I think is easier to learn. So let's get into the video. Attention, most of our online results are based on the assumption that your mother tongue is English. What? The truth is the difficulty of a language depends on your mother tongue and how far apart the two languages are. If your mother tongue is Japanese, you may not face the same challenges learning Mandarin as an English speaker would, as you are already familiar with many Hanzi characters. Similarly, if you speak Farsi or Turkish and are looking to learn Arabic, it may not be as difficult as you think because there is a lot of common vocabulary. Pronunciation is the foundation of language learning. When it comes to Chinese language, you should pay attention to 2 things: pronunciation and tones, as they are not the same thing. Chinese pronunciation, generally speaking, isn't difficult, especially with the help of pinyin. On the other hand, the tone or pitch of a word can change its meaning completely. For example, the syllable ba means 8, ba, put out, ba, to put, ba, the father. Even the 4th tone ba can be associated with different characters that have different meanings, such as ba, strike, ba, tyrant, ba, dam. This can create confusion with the word. For example, 老师 means teacher, 老是 means always, 老实 means honest. They are not the same, guys. Sometimes words with opposite meanings are distinguished only by tone. For example, in Chinese, 买 is pronounced with a falling then rising tone. Wherever 卖 is pronounced with a falling tone. The first one means to buy, while the second one means to sell. The pronunciation of basic sounds in Chinese is easy, but noticing the tones takes time and practice. Luckily, the pinyin writing system, which uses the Latin letters, can clearly show you the tones for each word. In contrast, Arabic is written phonetically, meaning each word is spelled exactly as it sounds. This eliminates the need to learn correct intonation, as all syllables are equally stressed. However, Arabic has many similar sounds such as ka, ga, da, ba, ra, ha, 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 which can make pronunciation a bit tricky for those who speak Latin or Indo-European languages for Chinese speakers as well. So in conclusion, they are both difficult in different ways. Speaking Chinese can be challenging, but it depends on a few things. How much have you practiced? The more you practice, the easier it becomes to speak. Of course, there are different dialects. I speak 4 different Chinese dialects. For example, we say 吃饭 in Mandarin, which means to eat. 食饭 in Cantonese. 起饭 in Guiliu dialect. 跟豆 in the Zhuang dialect. Actually, it's not a dialect, it's a language of a minority called Zhuang. Since China has a variety of dialects, most people begin by learning 普通话 Mandarin, which is the common tongue that is understood by most Chinese people. At school, we study Putonghua, and I speak Putonghua with my Chinese friends from different regions. With Putonghua, you can easily communicate with people from all over the country, so there's no need to worry. Mandarin is more than enough. Now, Arabic is a whole different story. It's what we call a language continuum, which means that there are many dialects spoken throughout a vast area. While people from neighborhood regions can understand each other, the dialects become less and less mutual comprehensible the further you travel. So if you learn one dialect of Arabic, like Moroccan Arabic, for instance, it might be hard to communicate with someone who speaks a different dialect, like one from Syria. For example, if you want to say, I want to eat an apple, in Fushan we say, أريد أن آكل التفاحة. In Syrian dialect, we say بدي آكل تفاح. In Egyptian dialect, we say عايز آكل تفاح. But don't worry, all Arabic speakers can understand and speak Fusha, which is also used in formal settings and education. However, the main difference is that Chinese people primarily use Putonghua in our daily and professional lives, as well as on most Chinese social media platforms, which is not the case with how people use Fusha in Arabic. From my personal experience, after learning Fusha, I had to also learn the Egyptian and Syrian dialect to communicate with people naturally and understand what's going on in social media. However, even with knowledge of this dialect, it's still not enough when people speak in other dialects. If you want me to make a video about the different Arabic dialects, write in the comments please. We can make a video about it. Learning to write Chinese characters can be one of the most challenging parts of studying Mandarin. If you search on the internet, you will feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of characters, but don't be discouraged. Around 4,000 characters, only 4,000 characters are enough to get you to a C2 level. That's not too much. They will cover 99% of the daily language use. Highly educated people know about 8,000 characters. I don't even know how much Chinese characters I know. When writing Chinese characters, there's a specific order and strokes and a lot of details. Even Chinese people can get it wrong. Sometimes, for example, look at these characters. They are not the same. They may look the same, but when the upper stroke is longer than the lower stroke, it has a completely different meaning. When it comes to Arabic, Arabic alphabet contains 28 letters, all representing consonants. Arabic is written from right to left in a cursive style. That means when writing the word, the letters are joined together in a flowing manner. The Arabic alphabet does not use upper or lowercase letters as in the Latin alphabet. However, the shape of each letter changes depending on its position in the word, initial, medial, or final. The letter can be written differently depending on the location in the word, but it's not hard to memorize either. It only took me 1 week to learn and get used to it. So in conclusion, Chinese writing is definitely more difficult than Arabic. When it comes to Chinese, reading can be easier than writing since it's a visual language. You can identify a high amount of vocabulary visually than you can write. Additionally, the key to cracking the reading code lies in the radicals. There are around 200 radicals, which are common components in Chinese writing. Each of them can guide you to the meanings of a character. For example, the radical like this stands for water and can be found in the characters like he, river, and xi, to wash. Similarly, the radical like this stands for fire, burning, and can be found in the words such as deng, lamp, shao, to burn. So Chinese is not as random as it might seem. Reading in Arabic can be a bit more complicated and harder than in other languages, but it's not that difficult. The Arabic alphabet changes shape slightly when written, and sometimes the pronunciation changes depending on the location of the letter. Actually, this is the most difficult part. Additionally, diacritic can change the meaning of grammar of a word, so you need to know the inflection and derivation rules to correctly pronounce a written word. This can take some time since Arabic morphology is quite rich and complex. East Asian languages are generally considered to have a simpler grammar compared to inflected languages such as Spanish or German. They don't have a gender and verb conjugation, and in Chinese there are no verb tenses or plural endings.
Nice.
However, some East Asian languages, including Chinese, use classifiers. In Chinese, grammar is mainly conveyed through word order, sentence structure, and function words. Therefore, while East Asian languages may lack some features of inflected languages, they have their own unique grammatical systems and requires attention and understanding. Look at these examples and notice how the verb 吃, which means to eat, stays the same. You don't have to conjugate it. I'd eat an apple. 我吃苹果. I ate an apple. 我吃了苹果. We just added 了. I will eat an apple. 我将吃苹果. We just added 将. Meanwhile, in Arabic, you would say I eat an apple. أنا آكل التفاحة. I ate an apple. أنا أكلت التفاحة. I will eat an apple. سوف أكل التفاحة. Arabic grammar is indeed considered one of the most complex in the world, but it's also highly logical once understood. In the Middle East, Arabic grammar is often referred to as the seed for grammar due to its vastness. Arabic is a gendered language and has dual and plural forms of speech. Words in Arabic are made out of roots, consonants, and vowels. To change the meanings, you need to place the vowels following a set of patterns. Verb conjugation, verb order, gender, dual, plural forms all have their own rules as well. I was struggling, guys. For example, if you speak about a woman, it's different than a man. And speaking to two women or two men is also different than speaking to a whole group of women or men. It also depends on if the group has one gender or mixed. Past, present, and future all require specific conjugations of verbs. The majority of the masculine plural nouns are irregular. The same word is conjugated differently depending on whether it's the subject of the sentence, the object of the preposition, or the object of the verb. A word also changes pronunciation depending on whether or not it's definite or indefinite. To make plurals in Arabic, the same consonants are taken and the vowels are rearranged. For instance, door is bab and doors is abwab. What is abwab? Each noun in Arabic has its unique plural forms, and there is no uniform ways of pluralizing nouns in Arabic. In Mandarin, and most of the time, there's no plural at all. For example, door is men, and doors is men. 100 doors, they are still men. So as we read up, every language has its own set of difficulties, and the level of difficulties can vary depending on a variety of factors. But remember, it's a subjective matter and depends on how motivated you are and how much effort you are willing to put in. Learning both Mandarin and Arabic can be rewarding in both intellectual and professional aspects. They both offer a glimpse into rich culture and civilization, and they can connect with people from different backgrounds. Plus, knowing these languages can also open up the world of job opportunities. I know plenty of foreigners who have achieved an amazing career by being fluent in Mandarin and Arabic. Here's the thing, no language is hard to learn, it just takes time and effort to master it. With the right approach and mindset, anyone can learn a new language. If you want to learn more about how to start learning a new language by yourself, check out my other videos where I guide you through the process step by step. Also, I will be posting more detailed videos about learning Mandarin and Arabic in the coming weeks. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and support me, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any new videos. I will see you all in the next one. Bye!